Hello everyone, the 316 Lego Maniac 316 here, back with another Morphin Monday Lightning Collection review. This time, I got the Dino Charge Green Ranger from Wave 10. This figure originally retailed for $22.99. However, during the year of 2022, the price had increased to $24.99. Some places you can find it cheaper for that $22.99 price still, so if you see it for that price, get it. I got mine at Walmart for I think like $24.80 or some weird price number like that. Anyway, this is I believe the as of when this released the fourth Dino Charge figure to release, because there was red, gold, and black, and then green, and then pink. Then Wave 11. But anyway, back to Wave 10. Let's go ahead and take a look at the accessories for Dino Charge Green here. So first of all, you got some extra hands. You got this one weird looking hand that's kind of pointing, a bit open. I believe that was for like a unique pose that this particular ranger did, where like his hand was pointed like that. And you also get a fisted hand, just like Dino Charge Black. Okay, civilian head sculpt wise, I think that they did a good job here on getting Riley's head. I mean, it looks good. He looks a little angry, but I think it's a pretty good representation. They even got that weird kind of like hair style that he had. Not too bad. I'll take a look at that on the figure itself, but let's go ahead and grab the rest of the accessories here. So you get the Dino Charge Morpher slash Blaster. And if you notice on the box, this side is unpainted, but this side is somewhat painted. It's really kind of sad that there's so little paint on these Dino Charge blasters. Uh, I could do it myself, but it just I don't feel like bothering. At least not at this given moment. I think, yeah, on the package it's painted correctly, and here it's painted right. I was just checking because I know that on I think one of the other figures, the black underneath the lines here, so like these three towards the trigger, were painted incorrectly. Anyway, last accessory here, if I can get it out of his hand. Sometimes this can be a pain. I don't want to chip the paint off either, like on Dino Charge Black. There we go. We'll readjust this figure while I'm here. Ooh. Might have to use a hairdryer on him. At least my figure has problems. Anyway, you also get the sword here, which isn't fully painted correctly. So the yellow of the blade is only supposed to go to where this diagonal is. The rest of this should be silver, just like on Dino Charge Black. Again, we'll take comparisons in a minute here. But, sword's a sword. At least they included it on like Dino Charge Pink, which I still need to get that figure red and gold. You also get the effect piece that comes with Dino Fury red, but in this really nice translucency of like a shiny metallic green. It's just a really nice color, and I'd like to see more effect pieces in this just really nice metallic-y, translucent-y green. Anyway, now we can take a look at the figure, the Velociraptor, Green Ranger, Dino Charger. On camera, I think it's not doing it justice. Speaking of which, my setup is... There we go. Just don't want you to see the edge of my blue screen. Anyway, on camera, the green is coming out more blue, but then again, there's all this blue back here. But even if I stick the box, in front of it, it really doesn't capture the proper greenness of this figure. I will compare this to another Green Ranger in a little bit, but when I looked at this color green compared to the actual in-show suit, it didn't look completely accurate. Like, the arms look good, but all of this didn't really match because the suits in that show are a bit kind of shiny reflective. They have a bit of metallic-y shine to them. So, obviously they did that in the figure after this wave, but not for him, which it kind of sucks. But it's still green. Like it's not like it's blue. Although you can see this on camera. You see the thigh joint there from like here down is a different color than this. That was definitely something I could tell off of the naked eye was a different color. This from here has a bit more blue to it than this does. And similar thing with the arms here, although on camera it's not as easy to see, is that this has a darker color to it, as well as the elbow. But these two parts are the same color. Again, on camera it's not as easy to see that those are a different color than it is for these legs. Like, those legs are absolutely a different color. So just be careful of that. I think they're all like that. Another issue I had on this figure is actually this torso part. Not because it's colored wrong, but because if you notice, you could see the line here is in a gray color, and then it's in a silver color. Well, they must have put the gray on first, because if you look back here, they did paint some of the gray on, but then they painted it over in silver. So now it looks, a bit awkward and incorrect. Speaking of which, awkward and incorrect, the belt is corrected, so it's got the black on the internals, the gray on the out, unlike Dino Charge Black. Again, I'll be taking a look at him in a second. This uses the same base body mold as Dino Charge Black. The helmet, I believe, sits a bit lower. That might just be how they mold the helmets and whatnot. But let's go ahead and take that helmet off. Pretty easy to get off, thankfully, and put on the civilian head sculpt. Sometimes the civilian head sculpts have trouble. Come on, get on there. Okay, that's on there as much as I can push it on there. It probably goes down more, but I don't want to force it. But there you go. The civilian head sculpt looks pretty good, like that. So if you wanted to pose, him with his head sculpt, you can absolutely do that. Getting it off is always the issue. I will say that if you're trying to put the helmet sculpt back on, his ears are a little pointy, or rather his eyes, but those are a little pointy. Just be careful. I think that covers basically all about this figure. Another thing, they didn't paint that on the back. This is red on the front at the very least. I guess we can go ahead and take a look at some comparisons now. Let me get out my trusty ruler. We know how this goes. He stands at roughly almost 6.5 inches tall. It's closer to 6.5 with the little eyeballs on him. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at what I've been saying I've been doing a comparison to Dino Charge Black. Let's stick him over here. Again, same body mold. The head sits a little lower on green, but not too bad. Anyway, one more comparison I think would be good is comparing him to another Green Ranger, and I got a bridge here. You can definitely see that this green is more of like a turquoise, whereas this green is just more of green, So let's take a look at the differences between these two figures real quick. So obviously I said there was a problem with the belt, and other than that, I think everything else is pretty much the same on each figure, of course, except their unique animal on the torso, which is a nice touch, as well as their unique helmets. But let's take a look at the difference between the blasters. So he gets an effect piece. He does not. Okay, as you can see, Dino Charge Black is on the left. And this is more the type of plastic I thought they would use for these figures, but they were using more so this type of plastic, which shows more detail. And I actually somewhat like this more, but it feels cheaper. Whereas this one feels like what you would get standard fare for your weapons in the line. And on the other side, it's basically the same story paint-wise. So while the one on the left has more detail showing, just because of how it was made, I still kind of prefer the one on the right, even though I think the one on the left looks a bit nicer. There's your top perspective. Okay, and then let's go ahead and take a look at the differences between the swords. Again, Dino Charge Black is on the left, and you can see what I'm saying where the silver wasn't fully painted. Trying to get this in focus here. There you go. But you can see that the one on the left is supposed to be correct. Obviously, it's not fully painted, and you can see the black paint coming off on my fingers on this one. Again, doesn't want to focus. You get the idea. And there is a difference between hands. So, like I showed you, he gets this pointing down type of hand, whereas Chase gets this one. So, difference in hands I think it's to make their unique poses, so it's always nice to get something a little different. I think that just about covers everything about this figure except for the box, which we're going to take a look at now. So here's the box again, very standard fare, comes in a pose, all the legalese. There's your lightning bolt side, there's the Dino Charge logo side, there's the front, top, and bottom. But, you know, if you like this season, I think that these figures are very good representations of the in-show suits. I just think that the coloring of them might be a little off because, you know, in the show they were a little bit shinier than what was, uh, you know, given to us in this figure form. I still like these figures though, and obviously the head sculpts are, you know, spot on. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did. Be sure to subscribe, hit the bell to be notified when videos like this are uploaded to the channel. And if you've gotten this figure, or if you want to see me do other reviews, not just like my collection, leave a comment below. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.